back, students. So after defining the primal and the dual, both primal and dual are here. These following points what I am going to tell now are very important, and also it will clear your doubts regarding primal and dual. Fine. So once again I will repeat. So after knowing primal and dual, the following points what I am going to tell you now will clear your doubts regarding primal and dual. Fine. So if this is number 1, if primal contains n variables, how many variables? N variables, and m constraints. How many constraints? M constraints. The dual will contain what here? Vice versa. Exactly opposite of this. It contains m variables and n constraints. What it contains? If primal contains n variables and m constraints, the dual contains exactly ulta of this, that is opposite of this, that is vice versa. It contains m variables and m constraints. Whereas the second one, the maximization problem, in primal becomes the what? Minimization problem in dual, and vice versa. And vice versa. Here also it is vice versa. Fine. If primal has maximization problem, dual will be minimization. If dual has a minimization problem, then primal will have minimization problem. That is what vice versa. Then it comes next, third one. Here the minimization problem has what? Has less than or equal to constraints, while minimization problem, the minimization problem has what? Greater than or equal to constraints. Sorry, and vice versa. Difference here. If maximization problem has less than or equal to constraints, then minimization has greater than or equal to constraints in both dual and in both dual and primal. Fine. Here it is. Here primal has less than or equal to constraints. I mean to say the constraints are subjected to less than or equal to type. Whereas in dual, the constraints are greater than or equal to type. Subjected to, the constraints are subjected to greater than or equal to type, and vice versa. Right? So the fourth one here, cost constraints of less than or equal to type, the constraints of less than or equal to type in primal becomes greater than or equal to type in dual and vice versa. Fine. If the constraints are of greater than or equal to type, then it becomes less than or equal to in the dual, and it is vice versa. So these four things, and further some more things are there. So let me continue those things. Continuing here. Fine. I think fifth one. Time check madam. The coefficient matrix of the coefficient matrix of the constraints of dual is the transpose of primal. So let me explain this one. The coefficient matrix of the dual is nothing but the transport matrix, that is transport of body matrix of the primal. So this is not the body matrix. This is body matrix. So the transpose of this is nothing but the body matrix of the dual. Fine. Then comes sixth one. A new set of variables appear in the dual. Fine. New set of variables appear in the dual. Whereas for the seventh one, so the constants C1, C2, C3, C1, C2, C3 up to Cn, that is C1, C2, C3 will in the objective function of the primal appear in the what here? C1, C2, C3 will appear here what? In the RHS side of constraints in duality. Fine. So the next remaining points will be explained in the next class. Fine. Thank you.